And here we are. We've got both of them starting in Link's house, getting that big 20 in Link's chest, and we'll see if they both go to Saha. Nope, it looks like Glan is going to go that way. Zero Rush headed for the castle. Glan gonna check the Hylia Island, see if there's an item worth grabbing, and it's just 10 arrows, so gonna pass that on up and head on over to Saha. Because we have the boots, we can just knock open the closet, and it's an easy, quick check that most runners do in this tournament. All right, Zero checking out Uncle. Getting a little bit more cash. And then from Uncle's chest, we got some bombs. So free bombs ain't bad. But in Saha's closet, we got our first sword. That's very nice. Finding that sword early allows Glan to decide, you know, if he wants to go places that require some combat. Now he's got a weapon. But Zero Rush headed over to check out Hylia Island, and looks like gonna head to Saha as well, so won't be long. Oh wait, nope. Zero Rush is gonna do a hobo clip here. So it's gonna do an up teleport, and we'll be able to just kind of jump on over to the transition there. Then getting a nice tree pull with bombs, and Zero Rush getting 10 bombs off of the hobo. Alright, so Zero is going to go to South Shore. Meanwhile, Glan is going to head early to Death Mountain here, doing a the Death Mountain ascent near the Lumberjack. With that sword, Glan may have decided, you know, Hera could be an easy clear, and we've got an ice rod there. Our hint, some cash is in Turtle Rock, so pretty useless hint. And Glan can clear the entirety of Hera except for the basement here, so Glan's gonna hope for both items. Already finding one in that ice rod, and Zero is gonna go to Mini Moldorm Cave and getting a nice 8 bomb drop there. Alright, looks like Glan is ready to go. Has both items here. Getting that mushroom in the, I believe it's the map chest. So, unique item at Pyramid Fairy, though. Big hint, we're gonna need that mirror. Or perhaps it could be the mirror that's at Pyramid Fairy. But, however unlikely that may be. Glan having to use the fighter sword to take down Moldorm, gets it done, and is rewarded with some dungeon item, and namely the first crystal at 418. So early first crystal for Glan. Meanwhile, Zero Rush going for a water walk. Gotta head on over. Already did the hobo and checked the Hylia Island, so just gonna head straight up to Zora's domain. Meanwhile, Glan is gonna use this time to check out the rest of the mountain. Looks like just to be some money. Zero picking up Quake and some armor. And Glan gonna go rescue the old man. Zero Rush finding just a big 20 on Zora Ledge. Does not have enough money to pay off King Ripoff, so is going to save a quit out and start on something else. Looks to be headed towards the east, so I can only imagine that this is going to be an eastern area play here. Whether he goes into Eastern itself or not, I'm not sure, but we'll at least check Saha here and get that sword. And there we go. Glan is going to... looks like Glan is going to head on up to Hera to reset his camera and probably head over to the east using the Turok climb. Oh, nope. He's just going to start straight up with the island check. Not going to waste any time here. And it's nothing on the island in the sky, so just going to head on back to land. Meanwhile, Zero gonna do a Death Mountain ascent as well, doing the traditional one. And we got a big 300 in Spiral Cave, so that's some Zora money, which could work out nicely if Glan wants to go down to pay off Zora. Not sure if he'll want to, because that's about all he'll be able to do without setting up a water walk, but it could be an option if he gets the 500. Meanwhile, Zero is rescuing the old man from himself, and there's another 300, so that's Zora money. Glan will be able to route in Zora as he pleases at this point. And there's some flippers, so that's very good incentive to go down to Zora now. Oh, very nice. A blue potion, a hammer, and the book. Wow. What a stacked Paradox Cave. So Glan could check Super Bunny if he wants to. And route Zora in some other way. We'll see what he does here. Looks like he's gonna go for Zora. Starting off with a waterfall cave here. Trying to escape. I've never actually seen this one done before, but it looks like there's something that keeps pushing him back in the waterfall, but he gets out. And now he'll be able to check Zora and the ledge. The ledge we know is a big 20, and Zora remains to be seen. And it's just a heart container, so Zero Rush, after going to the east, may jump back down to Zora after getting all that money, but if he doesn't, he's not missing out on much. But Glan with the hammer, has the option to go and do Super Bunny up on the mountain, and we still have not seen any of Kakariko, so that is something that both our runners have yet to do. And Glan's headed to the Lost Woods. Yeah, and just as a quick note, that blue potion is one of the nicer things that you could get this early on in the seed. Allows our runners to do a YBA to get a flute menu in the Dark World, which does allow us to set up for some shenanigans. All right, here we go on Kakariko at 11 minutes and 22 seconds. We finally have someone checking Kakariko. This is common in routing for Overworld glitches because you have so much available to you, and you can check it quicker than in a non-glitch seed, that it allows you to kind of gather more things to route in all the Kakariko checks at the same time. So Zero is going to save a quit, not going to go to Zora. And so if he manages, or if he leaves Zora behind, we know it's a heart container, so he's not leaving a whole lot behind. It looks like Zero is going to go for a graveyard ledge clip here and gets it. So far, nothing in Kakariko. But we got a magic powder, so that's something Zero will have to use for Magic Bat while he's in Kakariko. Alright, looks like Zero is going to head over to do Bonk Rocks and... oh, maybe not. Hasn't checked Lumberjack yet. Alright, so nothing in the library, and now Glan is going to head to Race Game, see what's there, and if there's nothing there, going to clip on down to Desert. And nothing but a big 20 on the Desert ledge, and into Desert we go. Still looking for a fire source. Maybe not even need to clear Desert since it's a pendant, but depending on where that item is. Unique item with the Great Fairy. Man, I wonder what that unique item is. Well, there's a Moon Pearl. So we've got our Dark World access, and now Glan has a lot of options at this point. Zero Rush managed to actually overjump the drop there. So we've got a question in chat. How does Glan have Dark World access? Well, so basically having the Moon Pearl is all you need in Overworld glitch logic, due to the fact that there is a clip that you can do where you go to the Death Mountain warp, where you usually mirror up to the top of Spectacle Rock, and then you can get into the Dark World that way, and then there is a clip you can use to get down off of Death Mountain and down into the lower Dark World. There are several clips, but which ones our runners choose to use are up to them. And I don't recall, did Glan skip Sick Kid? Yeah. Yeah, he does not have the flute, so he skipped Sick Kid. Not the biggest deal, but it is going to cost him some travel time here in the early seed. Oh, and there's the bow. Wow, this seed. We've got bow in Agina. We've got the hammer. We've got a free blue potion. This seed is really giving our runners a nice early package. Moon Pearl and Desert. But yeah, the flute is not the worst thing to lose out on for Glan. Again, it's just something that's gonna... Zero is gonna have a little bit of speed advantage early on in the seed, but flute is not required for anything in Overworld glitches. And Glan using a clip there to just jump down to Eastern. Saves just a few seconds there. It's one of those clips that you want to know how to do it, pretty much all of the time, because it's one of those time-saving things that only works if you really get it on the first try. I mean, you could do about 2 tries, maybe. Otherwise, it's a time loss, but either way, nifty trick. But with that bow in hand, Glan will be able to clear another crystal. And with that flute, we'll be able to get over to the eastern area fairly quickly. Just needs to grab that bow from Agina. Alright, so Glan working through the dark room of Eastern. Zero about to head out of desert. Will more than likely do Agina, check the tablet, and K45 as well. Alright, Zero going over to K45. Looks like Glan's trying to reset this room here. And here is Zero going to pick up that bow. Glan going back out to get some fairy health. Alright, Glan going through the rest of that dark room there and on to the Armos Knights. Zero is... looks to be headed to... Zero got the powder, so we'll be able to turn this mushroom without any concern. So this could be a big item here, or it could be the usual thing in garbage. Yep, just a 50, so nothing to write home about on that mushroom. No big deal. And yep, Zero is off to Eastern. So the difference, you know, if you're looking at our screen right now, you know, the difference between these two runners, Glan looks ahead, but Glan hasn't checked South Shore yet. So that's the key difference between our runners right now. Zero has checked South Shore, and pretty much every check that Glan has done so far. And now Glan seems to be headed up to... reset his camera here and probably gonna do a East Death Mountain check. Oh, gonna stop and check that ether tablet before we forget. Oh wow, we got Fire Rod on the ether tablet. Book required. Alright, so we got Pendant on Mire, Pendant on Swamp Palace, and a 5-6 on Ice Palace, but our 5-6, the only time we really worry about that is if the mirror somehow ends up in Pyramid Fairy. But Glan does a Death Mountain Descent, and as we were talking before, that's one of the ways that you can get Dark World access with just the Moon Pearl. Alright, so Glan checking out Village of Outcasts, starting with Sea House. Meanwhile, Zero still working his way through Eastern. All right, so Glan is checking out the front of Thieves Town here, and we've got a crystal, so he'll definitely finish it out. Looks like Zero is fighting the back dark room for Eastern, and grabs the key and is on his way to the back to fight Armos Knights. Now, Zero could do the same thing as Glan, or with the bow and the hammer. What I was thinking was, it's a possibility that one of our runners could check Super Bunny and then jump off of Death Mountain to go to Catfish, then Pod, since we have both bow and hammer. So we could see Zero do something like that, or we could see Zero start with West Dark World. But I think from here it's to the Dark World for Zero. Alright, Zero is going for probably... This could be a quick GT check. I don't think that he would, given that you have no items to really check much. But this could also be a Death Mountain Super Drop here. Oh, there goes Zero, proving me wrong. It is a quick GT check. Well, with the hammer, I guess you could... You could bomb jump or hover, and we've got a #1 GT Big Key. But yeah, with the hammer, you could bomb jump or hover through left side, and Zero looks to be doing just that. So this is out of logic. And Zero hovering across and getting the Stalfos room. Meanwhile, Glan picking up a second sword in Thieves Town. So we'll be finishing out this dungeon with +1 sword. And we'll be able to get that fire rod now. Alright, so Zero using some boomerang strats here. And Glan gonna finish out Village of Outcasts. Now he's done with Thieves Town here. And Glan picking up a B-Torp in the brewery. Off we go to South Dark World. Zero getting the lamp So that's a fire source. Oh, an ether. Mire, not a crystal, but perhaps maybe has an item that we need. And Glan doing a clip into Mire. Gonna check the Mire shed here. And the medallion was too quick, but I think that looked like ether. And Glan getting a green, so if he wants to do Smith YBA, we can. And it is ether, so if Mire has an item that we need, Glan's gonna have to go to GT for that. But, oh, there's the hook shot on Stumpy. The Siege just giving out all the free stuff. And Zero is gonna go ahead and just finish out GT here. We'll have just the right side to do if he ever needs to come back, but I suppose if you're here, why not? And very nicely done by Zero, making sure not to waste any arrows. And Glan picking up the Cane of Samaria in Hype Cave. So, looks like all of our progression has been pretty much in the Overworld. And Glan's gonna go ahead and grab that fire rod. So we'll have full capabilities to clear Turtle Rock here. Glan headed to the east side of Death Mountain on the dark side. Something we have not seen yet, and we'll be able to check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, as well as go into Turtle Rock. Alright, Zero hammering out that Landmo 2. Glan first trying to pick up the rock, realizing I don't have a glove, and now is going to do a clip to get in the back door of Hookshot Cave here. Where there's a will, there's a way. Can't come in the front door, we'll find a way in the back door. Alright, so Glan going through Hookshot Cave, and so far, not a whole lot. But there is the third sword, so Glan set up pretty nicely And that's going to make for a really nice incentive on a Turtle Rock clear here. And it is Ether, so Glan gonna have to go in and do this not optimally, it looks like. There is a way to start from Laser Bridge here, but there's a mirror method, and there's one that doesn't require the mirror. And it looks like Glan either doesn't know or doesn't want to do the method that is mirrorless. So for those asking if Zero is in Go mode, so what we have here in Overworld Glitches is that we can complete GT at pretty much at any time that we get the items to clear it, but that does not mean that Zero is ahead in any way. In fact, Zero is a little behind due to the fact that Glan is much closer to Go mode than Zero is. Zero gonna hover that gap and get some silvers. And Glan almost going to take a death warp and then realizing that he needs to check the front too. Ooh, just missing that triple there on Zero's side, but does get a double, it seemed. I do believe I heard two distinct hits there. There goes another double, so we got 2-1-2. So there's a 2-1-2-1, and Zero takes down Aga 2, so we'll not have to worry about that. But does need to go collect some more items. Meanwhile, Glan's just chugging along here. And really, all that we need on Glan's side is a glove. Looks like Zero is going to start with Pod. Makes sense when you give your way, or do GT and then you start on the pyramid. Makes sense. And mitts are going to be required logically for Ice Palace, for those wondering. However, there are ways to get into Ice Palace with only just one pair of gloves. Well, you can get in without any gloves, but you just can't lift that rock to face off against Cold Stare without a pair. And Zero finding out the Cane of Berna is in Ganon's tower. Could have given that hint to the hint tile. Glan doing the T-Rock Dark Room here. Alright, so Glan's just gonna clear out this laser bridge, looking for them gloves, and looks like 2 hearts gonna take that safety exit. And off goes Glan to face off against Trinex here. Getting the nice little double switch hit with the Samario block. And Zero Rush is headed to the back of Pod here. From here, I'm not sure what Zero Rush will do. I kind of expect that he'll save and quit after Helmasaur here, but could run over to the Hype Cave area if he wants to. And there's a hint at the front of Turtle Rock. A unique item is in Hype Cave, but I doubt that'll have much impact since generally you won't even think about doing Turtle Rock without this Cane of Samaria. Alright, Glan jumping down, going to Graveyard Ledge, and it's going to pick up that powder. So we got Zero headed to Helmasaur King here, and Glan has a new plan. Where is he gonna head? Looks like he's gonna turn in that mushroom since he got the powder. But we know that Ed is just 50 rupees. But this is also a good time to stock up on any potions that he might want to use. Alright, so it looks like Glan picking up some blues. He could use those for flutes. Or just for safeties if he wants to. Primarily, you'll see runners use them for flutes in this tournament. But the safety option is always there. And it looks like this could be a GT climb. Oh, look, that looks like he wanted to fake flute. There we go. So Glan fake fluted to Number 3, which fake fluting is when you use a potion. Specifically for fake fluting, it's the blue potion. On the same frame that you walk into a screen transition, it will open up the flute menu, whether you be in light or dark world. And from there, it'll take you to a light world screen, and all you gotta do is transition out to fix that. So Glan is headed to the back of Skull Woods here. Zero is going to get the hint about the fire rod, so this is very, very good. Ether Tablet can be forgotten about, even though we do make a lot of trips to Hera. It's something that sometimes can just slip your mind. Tablets in Overworld glitches are kind of a weird subject. Alright, so Zero is going to do these checks here. We'll probably head into Thieves Town after doing some Overworld checks. Knows where the fire rod is, so may stay out of Skullwoods for now. Looks to be the case. And Zero's going to do Thieves Town, which will get him the second sword that he needs to get that fire rod. Glan picking up a crystal off of Mothula. And this could all come down to a race for the gloves. And I want to point out that no one has checked escape sequence yet. It tends to get forgotten in these races because we like to route that in with the Pyramid Fairy if we can, but with no mirror, we can't get to Pyramid Fairy just yet. And we've got a bug net in the big chest here of Skullwoods. And here goes that sick kid check from Glan. Now, Glan died in a Dark World dungeon, so he was in the fake Dark World, and that's why he's now back in the Light World. And Glen's gonna route that powder check in too. There's Zero Rush's Master Sword, so Zero Rush might prioritize Fire Rod, might not. Alright, here comes the blind fight for Zero Rush. And Glan is on the mountain, so... we still don't have proper Dark World access. So we're gonna have to come up here every time we want to go to the Dark World anyway. And here comes another fake flute. Looks like he's headed over to the pod area. Alright, so Zero's gonna clear out the rest of Village of Outcasts. If he goes and does the south checks, we will be on item parity. Except for Ether, which, again, could be a deciding factor if there's a pair of gloves in Mire. The question is, will Zero dip Mire at all while he's there? He doesn't have a cane or the Fire Rod, but has the lamp, so can at least check the Firelock side. And Zero does not seem concerned at all with Mire right now. Makes sense, there's plenty more to do. Oh, looks like... Nope, never mind. Just transitioning that way. I thought maybe Zero was going to set up for a Smith YBA, but just decided to transition that way. So there's the hook shot, but Zero didn't really need that. And now Zero's going to check Hype Cave and get the Cane of Samaria. All right, so Zero's going to pick up that fire rod. And from here, I think Zero will probably head to Turtle Rock, as well as the East Death Mountain checks in the Dark World. Pick up the third sword. Yes, we do have an unknown unique item on Pyramid Ferry. Could be a glove, could be a mirror, could be a shovel. Also, both our runners are skilled, but their knowledge of ways of clipping into Ice Palace could be put to the test here, because without the mirror is the standard way to sequence break into Ice Palace without gloves, but that all depends on how many ways our runners know to get in. Zero not getting fooled by no gloves here, just gonna go straight for the clip. Trying to find that entrance there, gets it. Ooh, and Glan takes a death. I'm not sure if that was intentional. It may have been. Okay. So Glan's headed to the back to fight the Helmsword King, and Zero Rush picking up the Tempered Sword. So Zero having a little bit of power advantage, having those silvers. But that won't really change much. Yeah, none of the bosses that are left really care about your silver arrows, so. And Glan will... Unless Glan decides to just forego the final chest in GT, we'll have those silvers as well. All right, so Zero is going to go through Turtle Rock from front to back. And looks like he did get a key lock, so we'll have to clip down to the bridge now. Glan didn't have the ability to open the front door, so was forced to go through this way. Alright, so what is Glan's plan now? Let's see. Yeah. GT looks like a strong option. Yep, that's where Glan is headed, GT. Can do all of GT. So if Glan finds a glove on the right side of GT, that'll be big. Zero Rush gonna take a death warp here and go straight back to the middle. So Glan will get that Ether Medallion as well, which will enable him to check Meyer if he wants to. Alright, so Zero Rush clearing out Laser Bridge here. Gonna go fight a Trinex. And likely will go clear Skull Woods. And then will be in the same place as Glan at that point. Zero going for a quick kill here. And since Zero did die here, yeah, I wonder what that... I don't know what that would do in Fake Dark World. It looks like he's doing a Skull Woods clip here. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's stuck there. Looks like it. Yep. So normally that would take you to Skull Woods and you'd be fine, but because we were in fake Dark World, when he transitioned, he got stuck on terrain that is usually in a different spot in the Dark World. Alright, Zero is gonna go down back to the Dark World, and Glan clearing right side here, and does not find a glove. So Zero's gonna clear out Skullwoods here. Meanwhile, Glan is gonna finish out the GT climb, and at this point, it's gonna be who gets the first glove first. Perhaps even a mirror. Oh, mirror was in Compass Room. I missed that. So that could be a big thing if Zero is not familiar with how to get into ice without the mirror, or if any of those gloves are in Swamp Palace, that could be a big thing too. We do know that the Pyramid Fairy does have a unique item waiting for us, so it could be very possible that the glove is on Pyramid Fairy. All right, and Glan is about to start the gauntlet. Zero is getting to the back of Skull Woods here. We know that the bug net is in the big chest. And wow, Zero getting a super quick Moth kill right there. Moth didn't even have a chance to move any of the spikes. Good stuff there. All right, Glan out of the gauntlet, and just got these last two Wizrobe rooms, and then we're going to get to some chests. Glan will be getting the silver arrows because obviously he'll be checking every chest till he gets those gloves. Alright, so Zero picking up the item in the big chest there, and Glan at the top opening these chests here. Alright, here we go. Zero is going to go to the castle. There could be a pair of gloves here. And we've got the small key, so we now have access to the back of escape as well. Ten arrows. All eyes are on Zero Rush. Checking new stuff here. Early checks have a good chance of having at least one pair of gloves. So this could be a good spot to find some gloves. And meanwhile, we know that there is a unique item on the Pyramid Fairy, and Glan has the mirror, which he is likely to check that Pyramid Fairy after getting down onto the ground. So Zero finding nothing but 300 in Zelda Cell. And checking that pyramid ledge. I don't think we actually had anybody do that. And Zero is gonna go for the back. What? Where? What? I think Zero was on autopilot there. Wait, I just did this. Alright, now, back of escape. And Glan is doing the mirror clip into Pyramid Fairy, so here it goes. Will the unique item be a pair of gloves in the Pyramid Fairy? It's the shovel! This could still be it. It's just drawing it out even further. But it looks like Glan is going to take the bait into Hyrule Castle area. Will he do the entirety of the castle? Those gloves could be on that shovel. They could be. There could be a pair in the back of escape. We never know. No gloves in the castle. It continues. There could be nothing but junk on that shovel there. It could be a pair of gloves. Who knows? But looks like Zero might be headed back into GT, perhaps, to finish out the right side. So that's good for Zero, but we'll probably push him into checking Pyramid Fairy as well, which will, again, put him on parity with Glan. We have no small keys on Zero's side. So this has to be the small key, so we're forced to do a tile room here. Alright, Zero getting that small key, gonna go on, continue to the right side. Meanwhile, Glan going for the back of escape. We know there's no glove there, so Zero's gonna get the mirror here, and we'll have some choices to make. Probably gonna do the Pyramid Fairy right after getting that mirror, but aside from that, we don't know what our runners are gonna do after Glan finishes the back of escape here. And there's the mirror for Zero. So GT is fully clear for Zero Rush. Now we'll probably do the mirror clip to the Pyramid Fairy, and then from there, we'll be getting about the same time both our runners having to make a decision on where to look for those at least one pair of gloves. Alright, Zero setting up for that mirror. Meanwhile, Glan looks to be... Alright, we still do not have any proper Dark World access, so again, we have to go all the way to Death Mountain to get down here. And looks like Glan's gonna set up for the super drop, so this is probably a Swamp Palace play here. There's that shovel. Will Zero follow the shovel? Meanwhile, Glan doing the Death Mountain super drop, getting to Swamp here. And it looks like Zero is going to go for the shovel, so let's see if that shovel is a pair of gloves. I forgot, Glan still has not done any of South Shore yet. And it's just a blue potion on the shovel. Nice to have, but not a pair of gloves. And Zero looks to be trying to head to the Swamp Palace, but you don't have the gloves. Alright, Glan in Swamp Palace. There are plenty of checks here, and it is good chance that there is at least one pair of gloves here. So, this could be the deciding factor here, because Zero looks to be headed to Swamp as well. So Zero will be heading into Swamp behind Glan. If there are a pair of gloves here, it's just a straight deficit in time that it takes to Zero Rush to get into Swamp. Alright, Zero doing the super drop as well, heading into Swamp. Alright, so Zero entering Ice Palace at about... Let's see, let's get this time here. 121.32, so we'll see at the time that Zero leaves how far he is behind Glan. And Glan is going for a left side play here. This could be another decider. All right, so Zero. Let's see if Zero goes for the left side play or goes straight to the back. All right, here we go. Left side, chest one. The compass. Here's the item. It's a glove! Glan is in go mode at 123.12. We are not necessarily out of the woods yet. Zero Rush could find the second glove in the back. But Glan, wasting no time, doing the clip into Ice Palace. And Glan is in Ice Palace. All right, here we go. We got the flooded room. Just shield and a heart piece. There's the big key. So Zero is going to head to Argus, which will take quite a bit of time. So even if he does find a glove on Argus, it will be quite the deficit to make up at this point. But Zero making short work of those puffs. Very nicely executed. And nothing but a heart piece on Argus, so there is either a glove in the big chest, or he's going to have to go all the way to the left side to get that glove. So left side swamp paying off today. All right, so let's see. Just a big 20 in the big chest, so Swamp Pals having only one pair of gloves today. Be interesting to know where that other pair is, but that's definitely something we're not going to find out, because Zero is going to go to the left side and is going to get that pair of gloves to finish out this seed. And Glan with a very nice cold stare fight. There's our cape. And Glan will be able to finally have proper Dark World access. Gonna use the number 4 Dark World portal to head on over to the Dark World and get into Ganon. And Zero picking up that pair of gloves off of the chest on the left side and now headed out to do Ice Palace as well. But Glan headed up to Ganon. Zero Rush a full Ice Palace behind. Ganon give us some nice pattern here. Glan's gonna get a nice 1-and-1. And into phase 3, Glan goes. Meanwhile, Zero trying to get up to the ledge so that he can clip on over to Ice Palace. He's a bit too high up, though. Oh, he's going to use the flipper method, it looks like. So, Zero proving that he didn't need to use the mirror. But Glan taking down Ganon and will just have to cross that final bridge. But get those GGs in chat for Glan. It was quite the exciting ride at the end there. But Glan does it with a first place SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG's for Glan. And it looks like Zero has put in the forfeit, so we're going to see if we get both of them in here for an interview on this seed. But if you are looking for, while we wait for our runners to get in here, if you're looking for some more Overworld glitch action after we're done here with the interview, we've got another match, Chex Human versus Spleeby on SpeedGaming 3. That's starting in about 30 minutes there at 10 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be on SpeedGaming 3. It looks like Glan is going to join us. And we are joined by Glan. GG's, and congratulations on the win. And how about glove mode?
That was extremely stressful.
It was really a tight race, and it came down to about, checking that left side, really. I mean, I think even if Zero went left side first as well, still would have been behind, but not by as much. And, execution could have been a factor there. But, I mean, the search for the gloves was the decider there.
Oh, I knew it would be. Like checking all the crystals in GT and like all that stuff, and there's no glove. And it's like, you just have bad locations left. What do you do first? You gotta look out.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you saw that hint for Pyramid Fairy and didn't have that mirror for the longest time, then you finally found it. Were the lights going off? Were you like, is this the glove right now?
Well, I knew that was definitely the next thing to do after GT. Like, there's a unique item there. That's the best chance of a glove that I know of right now. And then you get the shovel, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, that could be the glove, but like, I'm gonna go out of my way to check just the shovel, or...
Yeah. But I mean, the seed handed out things pretty freely. I mean, I can't think of, other than mirror, really anything that was inside a dungeon. Moon Pearl.
Yeah, Moon Pearl was in desert. And yeah, I think that was it.
Because everything was just in the normal overworld checks, and
Well, Lamp was
fire.
in GG, but
Yeah,
and Ether too, which I think Ether was not logically required.
yeah, unless there was a glove in Mire, because Mire was Ether. So, but yeah, it looks like Zero's not going to join us for an interview. But
Ice Fraud was in Hera as well.
Oh yeah, that's right too. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall though, like the seed was just like, here's your stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by the way, asterisk, you're gonna need gloves. So apparently that was too much for the seed to hand out for free.
Yeah, Swamp left side, it's one of the worst spots. I mean, like, it could have been worse. It could have been like gloves in Pedestal and Checkerboard Cave or something.
Yeah, I mean, and when you got the shovel off of Fairy, how likely were you to check that shovel? Because it turns out you didn't. It was just a blue potion. But when you got the shovel, like, what were your thoughts going into that?
Yeah, that was just really frightening to me.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing you wanted to see. It's like you'd rather see the cape there than the shovel.
Yeah, because at least the cape doesn't do anything.
But yeah, so you are moving on with this win. So how are you feeling going forward in the tournament?
There's a lot of good players in this tournament. Zerorush was already pretty scary to go against, and then you have like Thalane, who was the runner-up of the fall tourney or whatever, the last one. So
Yeah, you'll be facing off against the lane or PRD, whoever comes out the victor in those matches. But yeah, and have you at least enjoyed yourself in the tournament so far? This has been a exciting tournament to watch. It's always fun to see glitches.
oh, it's a lot of fun to play the glitch modes.
Yeah. So, aside from that, any other final comments on the seed or the tournament before we get ourselves wrapped up here?
Not particularly.
All right. So, again, for those of you that didn't catch it earlier, there is a 10 p.m. Eastern match versus Checkshuman versus Sleepy on SpeedGaming 3. And so if you want to get some more Overworld glitches fixed, there's your answer. We also have on the SpeedGaming schedule right now going on SpeedGaming Main, the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Glitch Tournament. That started at 7 p.m. Eastern, so not sure where they're at with that one. But we also got started at 9 p.m. On SpeedGaming 5, Zelda 2 Randomizer Weekly Race. And then on SpeedGaming 6, Wind Waker Randomizer Weekly Race. That started at 8 Eastern. And yeah, that looks like about it. Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Spring Tournament. Not sure where that one's at. That started at 8, and so I'm not sure how long those usually run. But yeah, so that's the schedule. You've got some options that you can check out on all those lovely SpeedGaming channels. So aside from that, just want to make sure that you also give our runners a follow. Glan and Zero put a great show on for us today. And make sure you give our tracker, Mind of Me, a follow for helping out behind the scenes, pushing the buttons. And I've been HXC Jetters, and I'll see you all later.